Hi, my name's Colin. Welcome to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, let's get started. Hello and welcome to Let's Paint Watercolours again. This is our landscape scene and we're just going to set off with some nickel yellow on the bottom parts of the sky. Just bring it all the way across your mountains. I've made this colour just a bit strong. Hopefully you can see it. Take it up most of the page. The board's laying flat. This is a £140 bocking for the paper. Ultramarine, French ultramarine and alizarin crimson. I'm just going to put this in the top part of the sky. Just gently bring these two together. Strengthen up the top as this will fade. And then we're going to leave that to dry. Once that part of the sky is dry, we're just going to put in the background hills. This is the same sky mixture, just slightly weaker, and it's French ultramarine and alizarin crimson. And I've just re-wet the back hills. And we'll come over the pencil lines, and we're just going to allow this to drift. Same with this one. It's been re-wetted. We'll just make this one slightly stronger, trying to keep these two edges separated. I've also re-wet this rocky outcrop here, and I'm just going to drop some colour in. This is just straightforward alizarin crimson. Get into that. Just want to drop a tiny bit of cadmium orange. Windsor yellow, or cadmium yellow light if you haven't got Windsor yellow. Soften out the bottoms. Looks like the cadmium orange seems to have disappeared. We'll just have to put that back in. Just in some areas. Back to our sky colour again. Just strengthen this back hill up so it's stronger than the one behind it. Soften off the edges. We can allow that to dry a little bit. Now that that's completely dry, we come to these sets of rocks here. And I've actually mixed up a grey using the sky colour with some yellow ochre added to it, of course, and a little bit more of the blue with a tiny bit of burnt umber. And we're just going to apply this all over. Test it first, just to see how it's going. This is just a cut up card. Then on this one. Soften off some of the edges. This is nickel yellow. Just run it in along the bottom. I want to put some cadmium yellow or Windsor yellow if you've got it. This is actually Windsor yellow. Re-wet this background hill, all of it, all the way around. Well, whilst I re-wet this, I'll just turn the camera off. Okay, this is a mix of raw umber, French ultramarine, with a touch of yellow ochre, and some of the sky colour, so it's a bit of a mixture. Well, this is just the underpainting, it's undertone. This is a mixture of French ultramarine and yellow, with just a touch of burnt umber in it, and we'll just let this drift round. So we're just going to do the same here with the raw umber mixture. That we're going to drop the earthy green, but not as strong. Brush once again, feather it off at the bottom, and then we can leave that to dry. Okay, I've just re-wet the bush area here and here, and into that, so what I'm actually going to do is just drop some burnt sienna. And you just get more control over it this way. This is a mixture of Prussian blue and sepia. It's just a dark undertone. Same here. Remembering that it will dry lighter. And then we're going to leave that to dry for a moment. We're going to come back to the sky now, and this really will be your bravery test. So re-wet the whole sky area using your big brush. All the way down to the hills. Very lightly so as not to disturb the paint underneath. Just go around the edge to ensure there's no water to control back on it. And this is a mixture of French ultramarine, burnt sienna and alizarin crimson. We're just going to let this have its way. Just encourage it to flow into here. And this really is floating in water. We may get a run back or two, but your mount will cover it. Bring some interesting shapes. Not too far. Get some off around the tree, the water, because I don't want it to travel too far. This is just a kitchen towel. I think we'll leave that to dry. Okay, the sky's done now, and what I'm going to do is when I put the dark into this set of bushes and this one, I'm just taking a damp brush, just attaching it to the ground, just pulling some shadow out. Same on this one. These greens are made up from French ultramarine, burnt sienna and cad yellow deep, or Windsor yellow if you haven't got cad yellow deep. And we'll look for the lightest one first. There is some masking fluid on some of the areas that I want to keep white, and I'm just going to pat this tree in, just using the brush. I'm just going to put a darker mix, a very grey green, which is the same mixture but has more burnt sienna in it, just to really darken it down. Just place this throughout the tree, softening it into the tree. To re-wet all the banks here, the shoreline. I have to do it quickly, but you really have more time at home. And into that with the grey green, I just want to bring some shadow. Look at my arm. I think I might do it that way, I think. Windsor yellow once again. Drop in some of the earthy green, some good mixtures mixed up here. Drop in the grey green. Darken it up on the corner. We have to leave all this to dry. Okay, I've rubbed off the masking fluid on this tree here, and I'm just going to brush in some Windsor yellow where the light would be catching it. And what I do now is just work the edges of this tree where the dark colour is and bring it into the light, just to soften it in. Just gently work it in. It just softens all the edges. There's mixture of the Prussian blue and sepia. We'll just put in a trunk. Do the same to the rest of these trees. Just wiggle your brush. Just adds a little more interest to the shape of the tree trunk. This one. Do the same to all 4 trees. Okay, you've got your trees looking like that, and I'll just turn the board round because it makes things easier to put branches on. And whether this is a 00 rigger, bring some branches out. I'll just do a few because this is a bit repetitive, and at home you've got loads of time to do this. And with a watery mix of the same tree colour, just take the excess off, and we very simply just put some foliage on these trees. Just adding a bit of texture. The whole of the lake area has been wet. So it's just basically a mirror image of the sky, which is the nickel yellow. Drop in here. Some sky colour, ultramarine, with a touch of alizarin crimson. And this painting is called Icy Tarn, forgot to tell you earlier, and the photograph comes from Gary Jones. He's very kindly donated it to paintmyphoto.com. Need some of the stronger sky colour. The darker clouds have been. Some of the lighter green, which was the French ultramarine, burnt sienna and Windsor yellow. And we'll just mirror the bank. All the way across. Just leaving a sliver of light across the bank, a darker green of that colour. Just running it in where it would be. Drop this tree in here. There is the dark greeny grey mix, which we can drop in here. Just might be slightly too wet to put those reflections of those trees in, but we'll just see what happens. Yeah, just slightly a bit too much. Pull a few branches out. Okay. Darken again here to this reflection. I'll just leave that to dry. Now that I've removed the masking fluid off the grasses, we'll just put them in. This is the yellow green, and just stroke some through. Then once you've finished with the yellow green, you just take some straightforward burnt sienna, just add that to that as well. And whilst we have that going, come down to your bush. This is straightforward burnt sienna, and I just want to leave some light patches on the bush. Just pull your bush out, and then with some of your dark colour, which is the Prussian blue and the the sepia, you can add some in, leaving some of the burnt sienna showing. Just to add some more interest to your bush. Just add your twigs and your branches. Once you've got your grasses and your bush looking like that, you just take a very watery mix of your dark colour and just add some foliage on the top, just to give the bush a bit of body. And once you've done that, all you need to do is sign it. So we're going to put a couple of wind streaks in here after when it's all dried. Okay, there's your finished painting. I've put a couple of wind streaks on it using a craft knife and a ruler. It's signed, it's ready to be mounted and framed. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration video. If you have, please click the like button, and if you want to see any more further demonstrations, please subscribe. Always remember, it costs you nothing to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching.